Hello, and you welcome to the AREENA show. I am your host, Mami Fusua, and my guests for today have been called perception autopsy technicians and thought ninjas. From the critical headquarters, let's welcome our unstoppable, fascinating Dorcia and Curtis. You're welcome, guys.
Good. So it's good to be here.
You look tired. Is everything fine? Okay, so today's read is quite an interesting one. So, yes, let me get right into it. The irate guy, pregnancy prank gone wrong. I had heard a lot about Jesse from some of the ladies I engaged with. They said he was really kind and that a particular lady he rose with isn't his girlfriend, yet he spoils her like crazy. Jesse doesn't mind feeding any lady who joins his girl best friend for lunch, and I'm a beneficiary of that. Just that he didn't pay attention to me. I got his number and started sending anonymous text messages to him, but he replied to none, so I had to devise another way to get his attention by being friends with one of his male friends. Kwamina, Jesse's friend, thought I was interested in him, so he opened up to me about details about his detailed routine, that of Jesse and one other guy I didn't care about, LOL. I suggested he take me to the club with him as they do so every Friday evening. Kwamina is quite reserved, so he went to sit after one bottle of red wine and just enjoyed seeing people dance. This gave me a chance to bond with Jesse well, and he was so nice to me, just that he was really drunk, so I couldn't tell if it was genuine or not. I sent him a good morning, darling text later in the morning. He asked who I was, and I told him I was Cynthia, his new girlfriend, because of the conversation that ensued between us the night before. He read the message but didn't reply to it. He texted me 3 days later asking me what I wanted, and I told him I loved him and wanted more of him. And he responded with, okay. I joined them again to the club the following Friday night. We had a lot of drinks as usual. Then Kwamina with his other friend came to tell us that they were leaving. We had more drinks afterwards. Then Jesse suggested we go to a guest house for him to show me love. We were very high and in the mood that we didn't know when we fell asleep after the act. I asked him what we were after everything, and he told me he wasn't ready for a committed relationship, but we could be meeting up for great moments like this. His words cut my heart open. I thought he was a gentleman who had so much integrity for himself. I planned on taking revenge on him, so I told him I was pregnant in order to get a great sum of money from him. He wasn't moved at all when I told him that on campus. He smiled and said, congrats, we are going to be parents. Then asked when we're going to start antenatal. But to my surprise, my surprised self couldn't allow me say anything. So I said bye and left. I texted him in the evening, reminding him of how I need to finish school first and how my mother would be mad at me just so to bring in abortion as an option in order for me to get the money. But this guy asked me not to worry about that because he was going to take care of me He came to my hostel after a constant back and forth with him to finally blocking him. So I thought he was going to give in to my request for an abortion, only for him to drive me to the hospital when I agreed to sit in his car. Of course, I didn't enter the hospital premises because the goal was to get money for the abortion and not to care for a fetus that does not exist. I got a taxi back to my hostel and later told his friend Jack Kwamina to talk to him, only for Kwamina to tell me later that Jesse says there's no way he's going to abort any baby of his and that I should avail myself for him to go through this phase with me because he isn't going to leave things in my hand. Now I feel like he is very irate because I'm exhausted from this whole abortion wahala and wish I never said so. He's stingy and I'm never talking to him again. Interesting. This is what we have for today. Yes. Those here. Who is an irate guy to you?
Okay, so let me start from my perspective to her perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, as an irate person with someone who shows aggression on an achieving side. In her perspective, an irate person with someone who's stingy. Yeah.
Are you an irate guy?
From my understanding, irate is someone who's willing to do anything to achieve their goal.
Okay.
And that isn't a bad trait to have as a guy.
Oh.
I don't say it as a negative thing. When you I'm an irate guy.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so would you have done anything differently if you were to be Jesse, if you were to be in the guy's position?
I agree with him not wanting to end life. I mean, yes, I'm in school and all that, and I'm not willing to be a father right now. But if the situation happens, I'm not going to say I'm going to kill a baby. I mean, yeah, I don't want to, but if it happens, I need to step up. You need to draw a line somewhere.
Wait a minute. Are you thinking about the girl first, or you are thinking about yourself first? Can you put her first? You see, I'm not so abortion is good, okay? But being in tertiary and also giving birth, maybe level 5 or something, this is very tedious. Because with your education, thinking about your GP is I think it's too much for her, and then you should consider her in a way.
Yeah, that's the dream.
And then even her parents,
Externally,
the family, that this would be.
It's something that stick to you unless you are, so nonchalant about taking her life. You might think you want it now, but eventually in the future, you think about that child you ended, thinking about her psychological health. And also, there are always complications with these things. You never know what if you do with it. You never get to have a child later on in the future.
That is the point, but we are thinking about the present now.
The present. How much money can you possibly get out of a guy with abortion?
Maybe 10,000 is too much money for her, Riches.
From what I understand, this was a short period of time.
Yeah, very short. And it wasn't even a relationship.
Pregnancy hasn't gone that far before you need a surgical operation to abort.
Yeah.
The pill can handle that. That is no more than 300 disease for one disease.
So do you have an abortion scar?
So how much are you talking about it? It seems I think you have a scar.
Do you have? Do you have a child?
So how did you know it costs less than 100?
Yes.
I know.
Interesting. I think you have experienced that before.
I work with medical students.
Okay, so you know.
Okay, that's fine.
Dosia, have you had an abortion scar before?
No.
Lucky for you. Okay, so Curtis, what will make a guy treat a lady he's not dating special? Like a bestie.
He's not dating special.
Mm-hmm.
Special, no way.
Like what Jessie is doing now. I'm not dating her, but I take her out, spoil her, and even spoil her friends.
Francis was that good.
Okay.
Really good friends.
So
he doesn't mind doing things for the friends. So you see it and just assuming he's like that with everyone. It's your own mistake.
Or do you think their friendship might be more than friendship?
I mean, it wasn't stated.
Or was it true?
So we can't just assume. But there are guys who actually treat their friends very well. And there's nothing between them, sexual or any other.
And then, if from the read, the lady tried to have a conversation, tried to assume took advantage of the guy because he was drunk. Do you think the lady took advantage of the guy in a way?
I mean, yes, she did.
She did.
So,
Yes.
if you're drunk, you're not in the right state of mind.
Yes.
So it shouldn't be so if you get drunk and maybe I come to you, or do you love me and all that? Maybe you don't know what you're doing. So that's it. It's true.
So it was the guy that was a victim in this situation, right?
Yes. He was intoxicated and he just decided to just come one and be like, oh yeah, I'm your new girlfriend.
Yeah, because they had, I've experienced something similar before. I was talking to this, I wasn't drunk. I was talking to this guy, and I know he liked me, but it was nothing, deep for me, because relationship meant nothing at that moment. And we're on a call late in the night. I was sleepy. This guy wouldn't let me sleep. So I don't know the points where I slept, only for me to wake up the next morning with, these messages. Hey, love, thanks for accepting my proposal. I was so lost. And that's when he reminded me that, oh, yesterday night we had a conversation, and then you accepted to be my girlfriend. Wow. And I thought it was an abuse, because I wasn't in my right frame of mind, even if I said that, which I think it was a lie.
He didn't know about it.
He didn't. He knew I was sleepy. And for me, when I'm sleepy, I'll just say anything for you to leave me alone. And it's just like that. Okay. So, what do guys think of ladies who approach a guy you like? Why?
Okay, I don't want I don't want him to feel like I'm desperate.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good in terms of how courageous you are. But sometimes too, it's bad because you feel like you're desperate, you need a man, you're not getting so, and you just want a chance to be with someone. And then they take you for a fool. And because of being a tipton.
Oh, you approached the guy, and then he later took out. It's normal. So
he didn't actually tell me he doesn't know. I straight at him, but he was scared to move to me. So I was like, yo, I think I like you. And he was like, oh wow, I also like you. But later on, we went around telling his friends that, oh, girl, they are stout. She just wanted to fuck everyone back. Can you do
fine?
So I'm not.
How long did that relationship last?
Just some months.
7. You did go 7 months. A lady. Does a lady approaching you, in that manner, a form of a desperation? Does it?
I don't see it as desperation. Some guys can be really dense when it comes to picking up certain, cues. When a lady, is showing interest. So if maybe you are dropping those cues and hints, and he's still being all dense, and sometimes it's good to, hit the nail on the head. Like, you can't just say I'm doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But don't you think?
I don't think it's also right to go as far as to actually propose.
And then do you think they always...
you are interested. It's different from proposing. And I didn't get what I'm saying.
Yes. And you think they always get used, not treated right? Those ladies, it doesn't always work that way. Okay, that's nice. It's second way to show affection, like to show your love. I learned, ladies, we perceive sex differently. So, what does sex mean to you? Those sex?
It means a lot to me. I can't just have sex for fun. Some people say, oh, I just want to fuck you. I just want to say it's funny. But for me, sex is emotional. It deals with them spiritual. I'm very spiritual. So I don't take sex lightly. So sex means a whole lot to me. Yeah. I don't just have sex with anyone. If I'm asking, then it's fine. Or don't the next way, have a way.
Okay.
Very, very yet and strong for me to open my ears for you. Not even for money.
But what? So that means what would make you like a guy? Love? Is it looks? Is it personality?
I fall in love. Means boring.
Oh, sapio.
Very supersexual.
Okay.
And also how you care for me, your respect, how you carry your stuff.
Okay.
That makes me fall in love with the guy. I say it's child.
So all these without money, you are cool.
No.
Catches.
Yeah.
One night stand.
What she said.
No. One night stand or something meaningful. Something. Depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends. I'm okay with something meaningful. I'm not against one night stands either.
Why?
Why should I be against it?
Wow.
I mean, it's
anything's released. Okay. Okay.
If that's the option available and down for this, not me coercing you into it. You understand that it's a one night stand thing. Because there are some girls who kind of with, it's just strictly sex.
Yeah.
Then later on they try to attach something and all that. And I found just like very iron. Like you're saying you are spiritual and so you take sex and all that.
Yeah.
That contradicts the whole.
Because this spiritual is sexual purity.
Do it on marriage.
No, listen, make me anything my book.
Okay, you used to
raised. That's my mindset.
Okay.
Mindsets and fans. And growing up, our parents told us that actually things if you let someone penetrate through you, okay, you bonded with the person. And also growing up, I feel like sometimes we have sex with someone and you're not even being able to let the person go.
Really?
Oh,
I don't know.
it happens for guys too.
Guys too.
Oh yes.
I can't just let you go.
That means you that means you really like the lady, right?
Sometimes a little bit more why you whatever you've had your meals and all that, you feel like you're okay. And that's all you wanted. But after some time, like, they are so screaming for that exact same person, even though there are other people who are actually offering the exact same thing.
It's not exact. Is it exact?
Well, not exact.
Is it exact? Okay.
Yeah, she's right about that. Sometimes the whole attachment that comes with the sex too.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a guy, Curtis, wanting you to keep a pregnancy, a form of love. No, don't abort. Let's have this child. Even without marriage. Or then later I'll marry you.
Well, it's on the guy's virtues. Okay, as I've said, you can learn to love someone.
You can learn to love someone.
And the core of it, from like it's what we read today, he's a love of life. Let me put that way. He doesn't want to take a life. And from what was, read, he was still being nice to the girl and all that. So actually there was some level of affection.
Affection. Viewers, please let us know your thoughts, okay? Write it in the comment section for us.
If I should have went and be like, get rid of it. As a woman, right now, let's say if it was real, this one it was a prank. So if it was real and it happened, and I was like, nah, get rid of it. How would you feel?
That one is it. But don't you think if you really, really love the person, you tell it, oh, let's get married. Like you agree to whatever the person is saying.
Rushing into a marriage because of a pregnancy is never the right answer.
Okay. I mean, I agree with you on that. But if you also love someone truly, you will oblige to whatever the person says. You will give in to the person's request, or
you think about the person's emotions.
Yes. Okay.
I love you. Yes. If I love you.
So you do that motion.
No.
Okay.
If I love you, I am going to tell you the fact that I love you doesn't mean that whatever you are saying is always right.
Okay.
I need to also express my opinion. And for all you know, if I truly love you, you getting that abortion will make me see you differently.
Yeah. Because of your values.
Yes, because of my values.
So that will
make me see you differently.
Curtis, from your narrative, from your what you're saying, guys who make ladies abort do not love them. There's no love, right? Is that
others? They are okay with their whole abortion.
But you don't think so? From your perspective,
no, I don't.
Okay, from my perspective,
can I? Let me put it this way.
Okay.
A man who insists on a woman getting an abortion.
Yes, insist.
It's not.
Viewers, we are waiting to hear your comments.
Understand what he says is right. If he insists on getting an abortion, and I feel like, forward, you don't love way. Okay. But in a nice way, if we sit down, we talk about it and think that what we yield out of it will be positive, and I think that it's okay. Because let's say I'm not feeling well. I have some birthday minorities that will be I can't talk a lot now. Yeah, and then sit down and consider it's quite joy. I think you create this stuff, so I think you have to afterwards do something. And looking back from my family perspective, maybe my parents would be so, it is quite disappointed in me because, hey girl, I sent you to school to learn and now look at what you're bringing. Even your elder sisters have not even given birth. Look at what you're bringing. So that's it. But I'm also let it do that. And I think it's not bad. It can be good, it can be bad. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It depends on the situation.
In that sense, when something happens in the future, you don't get to blame the guys, right? Okay. Rosel, what are some tactics? I'm asking you this. Ladies used to take money from the brotherhood.
Okay. And so, right now, let's say I want money from, here is money from, let's say, just doing kids is wider. Yeah, kids, it's okay. Not in the kids, and do you know the last time that we had sex, I contracted an STI from you and an STD from you. For an example, it's just
an example.
An STD from you, and I'm scared. But since we did it not long ago, I think when I go to the hospital, something can be done about it. So, can you help me with some of money to just go to the hospital and then check it out? Okay.
Does that mean you're dealing with a cheating partner? You know your partner is cheating and...
No, I not cheating.
So why would you accuse? That means the guy can even accuse you. The guy can even accuse you that you were a cheat. Because if he's saying yes...
If I am loyal to you, what the fuck is that?
Exactly.
Okay.
For me, it's just my brother's school fees, my brother's hostel fee, this, that. It's just...
Okay, that one is there. But what the STI
will do for you?
Or even and what the TI were even do UTI, because you can just use the washroom and just contact.
Yeah.
I'll replace the UTI with the ST.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
some UTI.
Yeah, UTI.
That one. I read guy.
Exactly. You don't want to face.
Oh no.
Okay. So
we'll pay together.
Okay.
Has any lady used some tactics to take money from you?
Yes.
Well, what the situation? How did you feel after that?
How did you know?
You know, there's I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes you see manipulation coming, and you're just wondering how far the girl is going to. You want to see how far she's going to. How is it going to go? How will she act it out? So sometimes I let it happen. I can tell straight up you are lying, but I just want to see. You think I'm like what exactly are you trying to play at here? And people come with all sorts of excuses. Oh, this happened. Oh, I'm someone called me at around at the time, I think about 3 years ago. Around 1-2 a.m. A friend of mine, she called me and Curtis, this is the problem. I had this. And me being a good friend, at the time you're calling me, I just assumed it's an emergency, you're in danger because 1 a.m. Why are you calling me? I'm not asleep. I quickly sent the money. Only for me to find that wasn't the case at all. She was at the club and just needed money for drinks.
Oh my God.
So it's a lesson learned. But doesn't mean that when somebody calls me at 1 a.m. next time, I'll be like, nah, give me everything. So you never know. But it's still a lesson learned. So
okay, that was an interesting one. Let's get into the what ifs of the show. The dilemma satire segment. I read. Saints, sinner, and slightly showing. That's a theme. Naomi, a 27 perfect daughter, the one who makes the aunties proud, never misses Sunday service. That's Tosia. And once got an award for most likely to marry a doctor without embarrassing the family. She speaks softly, dresses modestly, posts quotes like grace before grind on her stories, and is the default role model for every cousin. But Naomi has a secret. A year ago, she had an abortion, and she's still carrying the emotional and physical scar. Now, she's pregnant again. The problem? Her family still believes her womb is as holy as her Instagram captions. Her friends think she's a good girl who would never let it get that far. Her mother still calls her the Proverbs 31 woman and thinks pregnancy tests are for other people's children. And to make it even more chaotic, she doesn't even like the guy anymore. They haven't spoken since the incident. And he's now posting gym selfies with God first. Now to the dilemma. If she tells the truth, she risks losing her good girl image and being treated like a cautionary tale at every family function for the next 10 years. If she keeps it a secret, she will spiral emotionally while attending baby showers for her children, for her friends, and pretending the swelling is just bloat. And if she vanishes for nine months and reappear with a miracle niece she's raising out of kindness of her heart, she'll be forced to lie forever. And the lie might show up to kindergarten one day asking, why don't I have a dad? So this is the what if, the dilemma.
It's always the way to go.
Yes.
Really? That's what you think?
Not always. So what would you do, Lucia, in the situation? Will you tell the truth and then risk losing your image? Or you will just have the child and left?
I will tell the truth.
You tell the truth.
Yes, I will.
Why? And lose your image for the next 10 years?
That's good.
You don't care.
Yeah.
Just be true to yourself.
That's all you can say.
Even for other people's recognition never ends. Just be to yourself. If having a child is what you want,
Live your truth. Live your truth.
but thinking that, oh, if I do it, these people, at the end of the day, whatever happens, they in the life for them.
But do you think our parents put unnecessary pressure on us?
100%.
They do it.
So we are not able to live our truth.
Externally.
It takes a lot to actually break free from your parents' expectations.
You have to be the scapegoat. You have to.
And especially if you're the first one, you need to also set a good example for your younger siblings. And since you're the first, you always have these
Crazy expectations.
crazy expectations of you. And you need to do this, graduate at this level, do this, start making money at this point, like that. So, at some point, you just need to live your life for yourself.
Viewers, what would you have done if you were to be in Naomi's shoes? Would you keep the child and lose your image? Or you abort it and be the Proverbs 31 woman your mommy claims you to be? Let us know. Yeah, but
That's how man never had an abortion. If you abort, you're no longer the correct man anyway. So,
I mean, they think it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you think about the society's perspective, MRU, and then you abort the baby, what's in the future? You don't give birth.
exactly.
They'll call you barren. And they wants to tell you, oh, this girl, she don't even give birth, and her marriage is not going to. But even if you're a church girl, and then you still want to give birth, I don't think there is a problem with that. You just need to talk to your parents, especially your mom. Mothers are so good. They will listen. They have blessed ears. I know when you go first, they'll say, oh, mommy, I'm so disappointed in you. I think the kid sisters will look it up to you and all that. But when she sits down as a mother and you think about it, think about every context that I think she wants a learn to.
I mean, there are bad mothers too. But she makes a decision. Naomi goes to confess in the church. Yeah, so they are in a church basement on a Saturday, folding chairs, plastic fans, auntie with judgment in their eyes and Bible verses locked and loaded. Naomi seated quietly in a prayer group. Auntie Gloria, any prayer request today? Exam, travel, children walking the wrong path? Auntie Fumi, let's pray for our daughters. These days, they follow social media, no scriptures. Soft life had consequences. Everyone notes in agreement. Yes. Then Naomi clears her throat. Actually, I have a prayer request. All eyes on her. As in, I didn't ask for judgment. I asked for prayer. Auntie for me. But what about your reputation? Your mother, the choir? Naomi, reputation can't raise a child and shame won't feed one. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for honesty. I'm not ringed. I'm real. A long silence. Aunt Ruth speaks gently. Do you want a hug, Naomi? Yes. And a seat at a table, not just a prayer list. So this was just the end of the dilemma segment. Any comment, anything, any addition?
I just think she did the right thing. But at the end of it, if she decided to abort it and keep her image, her psychological health to take a toll.
Yes, but let's also not forget about the consequences of having a child. It takes a lot to have a child. You don't just get up and have a child. You have to be prepared for it. The consequences.
If only she has the support and she's willing to mother a child, and I think okay.
Yeah. I mean, no one really gets prepared for something, but once you start doing the acts, you have to expect anything.
Plus, there are other options.
Which is like,
Put the child up for adoption.
Put a child out
For adoption.
People will carry a 9 months here. Okay, people do that, but those are people who get paid for that mostly.
Well, not necessarily being paid for it. If you feel you're not capable of giving the child a life
that he or she deserves.
He or she deserves. That one is an act of kindness, because I don't want you to come and suffer. And a couple needs a child. I'm not being paid for it. I'm doing it because I was blessed for my child.
But not in Ghana here. People hardly do that because you see them with their 10 children begging. They want, I don't know. Yeah. Let's end this spaceship with a bit of me. As people in faith or of God, we should make sure not to lie to ourselves down to ridiculous religious rules, because Christianity is a lifestyle. By that I mean it is what and how you go about things. Are you criticizing someone because he or she isn't subscribing to your thoughts or what deemed right in your sight? We shouldn't be like the Jews who criticized Jesus for healing one of their own on the Sabbath day in the book of Matthew. Are your thoughts and actions pure? How would you feel should your brain be open now for us all to see your thoughts? This is a question for the courts. Congratulations for surviving another episode of the AREENA show without your brain melting. Thanks to Curtis and Dorcia for keeping the IQ of the room very high. Expect more chaos disguised as content in our next episode. Don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, unless you want to be left out. See you soon. Peace and love. Tschüss.